What's up, guys? Frank Dak here, and I'm with Toni Marinucci, online nutrition coach and actual registered dietitian. And what she's going to do today is give us 3 quick tips on how you can kickstart your health without making it too complicated.
All right, first thing I always tell people is rethink your drink. Are you eating your calories or drinking your calories? So if a lot of the things you have are laden with a lot of sugar, we really want to take a look, try to incorporate more water. Do it slow. Don't worry if you're drinking soda every day. You can go to once a day and then once a week and kind of work that way. I find that a lot of people don't realize, like especially the Starbucks Frappuccino drinks or things from Dunkin' Donuts, like they're delicious,
They add up.
but they add up, right? So that's usually tip number 1.
So tip number 1, rethink your drink. I like things that rhyme, so that's good. That's easy to remember.
Some tips with Toni. Alliteration, I gotta keep it up. Tip number 2 is when you look at your plate, there should definitely be color. I think a lot of people forget about vegetables, and so when you fill your plate, I think a lot of people focus on protein, and protein's great and all, but if half of your plate, if you look at it and it's, mostly dull in color and like there's not much there, like are you actually eating anything with nutrition that's vibrant? So things like broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, like a salad, more vegetables the better. Those are high in fiber, they're very filling, they're very nutritious, right? So we don't want to just, if your goal is weight loss, we don't want you to just lose weight, we want you to be healthy too.
Guys, one of the biggest things is that people don't understand that we live in this world of very high calories but low nutrients. And the problem with living with high calories and low nutrients is that people overconsume. So that tip that Toni gave for number 2 is you want to make sure that you're consuming high amounts of nutrients that are bioavailable, that are going to be easily digestible and able to get into your system and help you towards being forward in health.
Yeah, and it makes it a lot easier too. Like, it's really difficult to focus on controlling your portions when none of the foods you have actually have fiber that keep you full, and they're not helping you cut your cravings. Like, a lot of people wonder, why am I always craving something salty? Why am I always craving something sweet? It's like, because that's what you're always giving your body.
Exactly.
So if you don't give yourself that break and you don't give yourself your proper fuel and give yourself the proper nutrition, it's always going to come out as a craving, but really your body's saying, I need vitamin C or I need vitamin A. Like, and how do we dictate that? Well, we have to take a look at the diet.
And at points, it can even be like you're chronically dehydrated, right? We live in this world where we're chronically dehydrated so much of the time, where you might think that you're constantly hungry, but you could actually just be thirsty, and hydrating yourself could kind of quench or dull down that hunger feeling. It's more of like a satiation.
Absolutely. I always tell people, if you're hungry, drink water first and then reassess. Like, and if you're still hungry, then we can eat something.
Especially at night, right?
Yeah, especially at night when, especially if you're about to go to bed, we think about, nutrition. Food is calories. Calories are energy. And so how much energy do you really need to sleep? So that, that's important to recognize too. Yeah.
What's tip number 3? Did we give one?
No.
Tip number 3.
Tip number 3. I feel like that was like an extra tip. So here's your bonus tip. Your bonus tip is to track your intake. Like, a lot of people say, I eat really healthy, I don't know why I'm not losing weight, or I don't think that my diet's that poor or whatever. And it might be great, but there's always room for improvement. And I don't think that we can learn how to do that until we bring the awareness. So I always tell people, whether it's MyFitnessPal or pen and paper in the notes section of your phone, just start paying attention. If you know that you have to record something like, I don't know, chocolate chip cookies, you might think about, maybe I'm not going to have the whole sleeve. Maybe I'll just have 1 or 2. Or, you know what, maybe I don't actually really want this, and I just have the habit of going to it. But now that I have to write it or track it, I'm held accountable in some way, and therefore I don't consume it.
The key thing is what she said at the end was holding yourself accountable. And the thing is this, tracking your calories, some people might hear that and think, this is too much, I don't want to deal with it. We're not saying that you have to do this forever, but especially in the beginning when you're doing this, you start to realize how many calories a specific thing is, like a cookie, where you start to realize how little food you're eating or how too much. So just because you're not eating a lot, let me say it again, so just people can be undernourished from not eating enough calories, or you could just have a ton of calories in and still be undernourished. It's this whole different thing. But if you can put it down on paper and actually calculate exactly what's going on, then when you come to someone like Toni or myself, we will be able to look at it and be able to basically go back and forth with you on what exactly is going on and how to fix that.
Yeah, and I know that we spoke earlier, and you help a lot of people with making those swaps, and that's something that I believe in too.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, if you're used to having, say, white bread or white rice, let's swap it for brown rice or quinoa or a healthier starch. Like, it doesn't mean that we have to negate the carbs. We just have to be mindful of how much we're having of them and give you healthier alternatives.
Exactly. It's about healthier alternatives, making you feel like, okay, this isn't a death sentence, I'm not going to go crazy, but how can I make this easier? Because the first 3 letters of the word diet are what? It's die. We want to step away from that, and we want to create a lifestyle change. Toni, thank you
Yes.
so much.
My
And
pleasure. Thank
those are 3
you.
tips with Toni. If you want to follow her on Instagram, it's tips_with_Toni, Toni.